Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to do a top 5 style upgrades or relatively inexpensive modifications for the 5th gen Ram trucks. A lot of these will work on 1500 all the way up. Some of the exterior stuff is going to be specific to the previous 4th gen because it shares the same cab, as well as the obviously 2019 to current trucks. The interior stuff is going to be, a lot of it's going to be the 5th gen 1500s. Some of it's going to be the old 4th gen trucks because, again, shares the same cab. But starting off, we're going to go to the floor liners. I believe these Husky exact contours are going to be $110 for the fronts, and then I think $97 for the rear. I may have that crisscrossed. These are the exact contour ones. I went with Husky for price point, and I like them over the WeatherTechs. This is a more rubbery material. I found that the WeatherTechs, when they get cold or wet, are very hard plastic and you kind of slide across them. As you can see, you have a nice lip right here to keep all of the liquids and dirt and water in, and it covers up all the way past the accelerator and brake pedals. A lot of other floor mats out there won't go up all the way back there, which is nice. These are the fronts. Come into the back, we have the rear set. The rear set is a little bit of a different material than the front set. It is weird because they're both the exact contour model. I'm not entirely sure why the material feels different, but again, you have a nice lip, covers under the seat a little bit, and up here, this obviously still has the transmission hump because it's on the same cab as the previous generation, but still tons of space back here for protection. Also, when you fold the seats down in the mega cab like so, you still have protection back here, and it just opens up and kind of bends this portion down. But overall, highly recommend the Huskies over the WeatherTechs. Again, it's a price point thing, and I just didn't like the hard, slippery plastic from the WeatherTechs. So the next little cheap upgrade is going to be the Fumoto oil valve. This one is specific to the HD trucks. There is a different model number for the 1500s. I will be linking down in the description. I forgot to mention, I will be linking all of these products in the description below that are available on Amazon and eBay. If you do buy these off Amazon, I would greatly appreciate it if you buy them through my link. It definitely helps out the channel and adds no extra cost to you. This is the flush mount oil valve. There's one with a tiny little nipple extension and then a longer nipple extension for like a rubber hose to attach to make oil changes even easier. The reason I chose this one was because I wanted to maximize ground clearance, and I didn't want to risk this catching up on any debris. It's very cool. This just screws into the oil plug. It does have a little plastic safety right here you take off, and this is spring loaded, as you can see. Push it up and over, opening the valve, making oil changes a lot less messy and easier. I think this was 20 bucks on Amazon. Like I said, I will be linking all three, not only for the 2019 to current heavy duties, but the 1500s as well. So definitely give this a try. The next cheap upgrade is going to be this key cover offered on Amazon. There are a couple of colors. Obviously, I went with red, given the exterior color of my truck. They do make them for the different trims as well. So if you do have the air ride in the rear, they have a button where you can push it, and the bed will, the tailgate portion, the bed will actually lower. I believe this was like $15 on Amazon, and it prevents you from wearing out the plastic buttons and getting all your nasty hand grime and oils and stuff on the key. Pretty nice, inexpensive way to protect the key, because these are not cheap to replace. So if you wear out all the plastic and stuff, you're gonna, you know, it's annoying. Also too, the leather construction is very nice. Kind of difficult to get on. It is very tight tolerances, as you can see. It did kind of stretch a little bit, but no complaints. Very, very nice key cover. Again, they do make them for each trim, so depending on what trim you have is the key cover you will pick, but I will be linking this again in the description below. So the next upgrade is going to be actually a screen protector. This is a tempered glass screen protector. This one's a little pricey at like $35 or $36. They make them for the 12-inch touchscreen as well as the 8.4. I went with this because this glossy screen attracts a lot of fingerprints. I didn't like that. A lot of the other manufacturers have a kind of matte feeling screen. I'll kind of demonstrate that at the end of this, but really easy to install. The only portion that didn't install well is actually down here, and you can't even really see it. There is just a little air bubble right here, but it's not even noticeable. Very easy install, very premium, high quality screen protector, and it keeps fingerprints and possible scratches off your screen. If you're working, you know, you use this as a work truck, but you wanted a nice 12-inch touchscreen display or 8-inch touchscreen display, and you have crud on your hands, touching the screen will not scratch anything. And again, it is tempered glass, so it is extremely hard. I think it's like 9H hardness. And unlike a phone where you have the possibility of dropping it and the tempered screen cracking, this is stationary, built very well. It's not gonna fall out of the console, unlike a regular screen protector. So this is definitely overkill. You are not gonna need any other screen protector for the life of the truck. This thing is very awesome, and it doesn't change the responsiveness of the touchscreen either. Still very responsive, very, very nice. And it is very, what's the word I'm looking for? Slick. Like you're not, you know, getting caught up on portions of the screen, unlike some other screen protectors. When it's humid out or cold, you get that like little haze over the screen. That has not been the case with this. So highly recommend this. I will link the 12-inch version as well as the 8.4-inch version down below. So here's what the matte screens look like. This particular one is in a Ford. I think the only matte touchscreen you can get in the Ram is on the 5.3-inch touchscreen, which is like the basic tradesman or bighorn at this point. If you do have the matte screen, there is no reason for you really to get a screen protector. It does a really good job at hiding fingerprints, and I believe the 5.3-inch screen on the Rams is actually recessed a little bit within the center console area, and you do have buttons underneath it, so the likelihood of you scratching it with something is greatly reduced. But Ford and GM, they did a little bit better of a job choosing the screen material. I understand why Ram went with the gloss. It just looks a lot better. The backup screen looks absolutely amazing, but here's just an example of what the matte screens look like. Next is another relatively inexpensive upgrade, or modification I should say. It's going to be these vinyl door sills. These are actually the only thing I haven't bought on Amazon yet for this truck. These were on eBay. I think these were like 25 bucks for the set of 4. The long ones are gonna go on the front 2 driver passenger doors, and then the short ones are gonna go in the rear. I will say, very easy to install. Just a little bit of soapy water, just sprayed in a spray bottle on where you want to install it. Put this down and it slides. Once you have it where you want it, squeegee out the water. I think these are just a hair too long actually, because as you can see, I start right here on the little corner lip where it starts, and then as I go down here, it actually comes up maybe a centimeter or 2 above this little lip right here, because of the way the door starts to arch up. So that's like the one little thing I don't like. I mean, I'm OCD about stuff, so that kind of is irritating, but overall, very cool upgrade. It's pretty cheap. I think I said that, like, these are under 30 bucks. Really nice high quality vinyl. I did mess up the first set. They sent me out a replacement. Very good customer service. The key is to not install these two forward where it starts to arch again, or two back where it arches, because you'll have air bubbles in this, and then this won't actually sit flush in this little channel. If you do have air bubbles, you can work them out with your finger, or you can take a hair dryer or heat gun and hit the area and then push them out. This, where it's red, is actually clear, so whatever color your truck is, that's what color will show through, so that's very cool. On the backs, after the backs dried, this portion right here in the channel lifted up. I did take a hair dryer, got it real nice and hot, and then pushed it down with my thumb and just kind of rode along the groove. If you do have tiny little air bubbles, they say you can take a sewing needle and just poke it, and it should go away. Right here you can see, obviously, again, there is a little air bubble, but I am working it out with my thumb. I did install these maybe 2 hours ago, the new set, so I am waiting for them to fully dry. If you do have air bubbles, again, you can work them out with your finger, or you can use a heat gun. Heat gun makes it come out a lot easier. Here's this side. I have noticed with the back ones, they install perfectly on these 4th gens and 4.5, 5th gens if you kind of match them up with the front of this metal plate right here, and then back. They fit perfectly. Again, you can just take your finger and run them along there. It's not perfect right now. I'm gonna let them cure a little bit longer. Then if anything comes up, I'll take the hair dryer to them again. And then with the fronts, I found that if you line them up almost with this, maybe a 1/4 inch in front of the end of this, it actually lays down pretty perfect. So again, very impressed with these. Very cheap upgrade, and if you do have boots or shoes that are dirty, having this is very nice. Definitely save your paint from scratches as well. Another thing too is they make these for the 1500, 2500 obviously, and 3500, 1500, well, 15, 25, 35. They also make them too where they don't say anything at all, where it's just 3 bars all the way across. So if you don't want it to say what truck you have, you can just get the original 3-bar one. I think they have a couple that just say Hemi, so if you want to go that route, I will link this in the description below. There is a lot of options for these as well, so definitely check them out. So the next little upgrades are going to be kind of preventative maintenance, especially if you have a diesel. So I have 2 fuel additives, or additives in general, that I use. The first one is Hot Shot Secret FR3 friction reducer. There's a lot of good qualities that this has. I know there's a prominent YouTuber out there, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he actually tested this, and it does reduce the friction, and you do have less wear and tear on your engine over time. Very good product. I add it to the oil, and there is, I want to say it's like 1.5 ounces for every quart. So having 12 quarts of oil in the Cummins, I put in, I think 18 ounces is what it was. So definitely recommend this. Very, very nice. And then the other thing, specifically to the GMs as well as the Rams, Hot Shot Secret LX4 Lubricity Extreme. I know GM has had some problems with the CP4 pump. From what I've understood, they're pushing that pump to its absolute max, while Ram is not. Ram is also using the CP 4.2 fuel pump, which I think is too new to really have any understanding on failure rates. However, I would much rather be safe than sorry. I do not want to replace the fuel system in this truck. It is not cheap and it's a huge pain in the butt. So I add this with every single fill up just to be safe. If you really want to be safe, I would highly recommend getting a FASS or AirDog aftermarket lift pump. That is definitely planned in the future. I know S&B Tanks right now is actually working on coming out with a 55-gallon replacement tank for the Mega Cab. I think right now they have a 52-gallon replacement for the Crew Cab standard box or 8-foot box. I'm going with S&B because they have an integrated sump port, so no drilling into the tank at all. I can just run the FASS lift pump right into the tank, and then the return line can just go right up by the draw straw. Very cool. But again, Hot Shot Secret FR3 for the oil, and then LX4 for the fuel additive. There are just a couple more things that are kind of car care products I would recommend, and let's go to that right now. So here's just a few of the products that I use. Because I do have a ceramic coat on this truck, I go with the Car Pro Reset, which is the intensive car shampoo made for ceramic coated vehicles. This is extremely concentrated. I think I only need 2 milliliters for my 1,000 milliliter foam cannon. So very highly concentrated. I don't like that it doesn't foam up nearly as other car foam cannon shampoos, but I understand it. It's got to be watered down. It's very concentrated again. I think this is like almost 30 bucks on Amazon. Really good quality from the people and the car detailers that I've talked to. Car Pro Reset is a very good product. Next one is my Car Pro Reload Spray. It's a silica spray sealant, and it's designed to work with, again, ceramic coated vehicles. So after I wash the car and dry it, I'll then apply my reload spray. Very nice. I also have getting shipped the Car Pro Elixir, which is a quick detailer. And then I'm also getting the Car Pro Iron X, I believe it's called, to remove, iron and stuff from around the trim pieces up here, as well as brake dust. So a little bit over top five cheap and expensive upgrades. That was just kind of the whole idea of this video. Just relatively inexpensive upgrades. Gave you a little bit more than 5, but this list will grow as I have the truck. So if I do get something relatively inexpensive that I do like and enjoy, I will just make a quick little video, or maybe I'll just add it in the future to just a regular video. But overall, really enjoy all of these products. Obviously, I haven't installed the oil drain valve yet because I haven't had my first oil change. I am going to take it to the dealer for its first oil change after I get some more items for this vehicle, because I do get a free oil change, and I'm going to have them install that so that way I can do my own. But again, I will be linking all of these products in the description below. If you're inclined to purchase any of them, I'd greatly appreciate it if you purchase through my link, as it does help the channel. If you're interested in following the build process on this vehicle, please consider subscribing or sharing the video. Like always, thanks for watching and have a great day.